2. This is the squash mixture bit. So previous to this, you would have had to get a box of frozen pureed squash or buy frozen cubes of squash, cook them, puree them yourself, or buy a butternut squash, acorn squash, or use a pie pumpkin, bake it until it's soft, and then puree until it looks like a smoothie. I puree on the smoothie setting on my thing. So that's what you would have had to do. Mine is already done. Right here, it's 1 cup. See, 1 cup of pureed. This is butternut squash. But like I said, you can use pie, a pie pumpkin, or acorn squash. So into my pan here, I'm turning this on to like medium low. And I have my candy thermometer here. If you don't have a candy thermometer, I think Kate said she uses like a meat thermometer. Something like this, I think. You can use that. That's fine. I put this because it sticks on the side of my pan. Anyway, so that's on. Putting the squash in. And I need a third hand. I'm going to prop this, well, whatever. I do not have my house set up to be a filming studio because I don't intend to do that. But let me see if I can scrape out some of this extra stuff. And you can look at the cabinets. So, scraping, scraping, scraping. Okay, that is scraped. Okay, it's in there. And then you add 3/4 of a cup of milk. Okay. And then you stir until it's smooth. Look at that smooth orange goodness. That's why I like these buns, because they're a nice yellow color from the squash. So it's kind of smooth now. I should center it on the heat. Okay, smooth now. And that's heating up. Now I add 1/2 cup of sugar. And then I also add 1/2 cup of butter that's been kind of sliced up. I only slice it up so that it doesn't take as long to melt. So get a wooden spoon here. Kind of chop this up a little bit. Anyway, put that aside and stir. And stir and stir and stir. Okay, we will pause for a second. Okay, so we're back. And it's almost to 125 on here. See, it's almost to 125. That black line is 125. It's getting there, and the butter is almost melted. So once it gets to like 125, we can turn off the heat. You can probably turn off the heat now, even. The butter's going to melt. But anyway, look at that. That's so pretty. Let's see. Yep, it's getting close. Stir, stir. And once this hits 125, so it's about there, I'm going to take it off the heat because I don't want it to get too hot, because if it's too hot, when I pour in the yeast, it's going to kill the yeast. So we'll just make sure all the butter's melted, and then we can go on to the next part, but I am going to show you what the yeast looks like. We'll let that sit for a minute. And here the yeast, see, it's kind of foaming up. It was at less than there. It was at less than 1/2 cup, and now it's up here. So the yeast, this means the yeast is active, and it's good. So it's going to be, we're going to be able to use it. All right, let's go back over here and see if the butter's all melted. Almost. There's just a few more little butter pats on. Okay, so that's this end of part 2.